Alright guys, so we're here with the review and run of Bachmann Oliver and Bachmann Toad. So, yeah. Originally I wanted to do an unboxing video of this, but while I was unboxing Toad, the camera cut out because I ran out of storage, and I didn't realize it until I unboxed both of them, so I just decided to just make it a review and run video, so yeah, here we go. So we'll start with Oliver. So for a while I didn't like the Bachmann Oliver. In fact, I thought he was probably the worst model Bachmann made. But the thing is with that, like, I was judging it by like a couple really low quality pictures from like people seeing him in person at like train shows, and then the picture that Bachmann released back in November, and really that was just a bad photo of him, because now having him in person especially, because like seeing him in videos I was like, yeah, I mean, he's okay, but now having him in person, yeah, I will say that he's not a bad model by any means. In fact, I actually do like him. So, let's see, get some of the things that I like about him. I like his little details, like the lamp in the front and the tail lamp in the back. I like the shade of green. I think it's a really nice shade of green. Much better than the way he looked in the picture that Bachmann released. It was like almost like metallic green, like a really dark metallic green in the picture, but now he's more of a light green, like think of the lines of like Duck or Percy or Henry. And I also like his safety valve right here, and his whistles I really like. Very cool, hidden in there. And I like his face, very nice face, and he just is a very, very good representation of what he looks like in the CGI series, which I'm not going to get into, but, well, yeah. So, he's a very cool model. And there's not too many things I can think of that I don't really like besides. One thing I will say is that because Bachmann actually scaled up his chassis, but scaled up his shell, and kept his chassis the same, his sanding valves and footsteps and stuff like that are like very far away from his wheels, and yeah, it just kind of looks a little awkward. It kind of bugs me a little bit, but you know, it's not incredibly noticeable, but if you have him in person, it just kind of is a little off looking. So yeah, but for the most part, I do like Oliver. I think he's a very good model. So, yeah, that's pretty good. So, perfect. Alright, so now, just gonna, split this into parts, because I don't want the thing that happened with the unboxings that got ruined to happen with this. So I'm just gonna split it into parts. So now we're gonna move on to Bachmann Toad. Now, I don't know why, but I know Toad's been out since like frickin' February of 2016 or whatever, something like forever ago. But I've just been avoiding to get him, not just cause Oliver wasn't released, because like even then, because I was still planning on getting Toad before I was gonna get Oliver, but for a while I just didn't do it. But now I have him here, so. Yeah, so I will say, because I've always liked Toad though, even though I didn't at first like Bachmann Oliver, I always liked Bachmann Toad. I always thought he was a good looking model, and there's a lot of reasons for that. His face, I love this face, very cool face. The shade of gray is really nice. And the silver buffers, I mean, they're cool and all. I like them, but I don't know. For me, they don't really look right, and I probably am just gonna like paint them black again, but maybe not. You never know. And on the date it says 2015, surprisingly, and small couplings actually, similar to one of the Hornby items that I got for my birthday. I'll explain that in the review. But yeah, so now we'll just move on to running Oliver and running Toad. Alright, so we got Oliver on the tracks now. Hopefully what I don't want to have happen is, because the Atlas track that I'm using and the Easy track that I'm using are like different code heights, so they're like a lot, so there's a little bit of a difference, so sometimes engines like jump the rails, but yeah, whatever, but I'll run him. Hopefully he's going the right way. Perfect, he is. So now I'm just going to run him with Toad. And here he goes. Oh no, that was terrible. It's like I can make that into an episode. Or no, it's like Busy Going Backwards. That's what it's like. It's basically Busy Going Backwards. Toad got uncoupled. Well, that might be because I don't think I probably coupled them up properly, but you know, yeah. I'm gonna keep this in because that's a kind of fun thing. So let's try to couple it up. Okay. So one thing that kind of bugs me about Toad is the small couplings. Kind of, yeah. Okay. Alright, we'll start them up again. Whoa, whoops. Oh no. So, now you may be wondering what my thoughts are on Bachmann Oliver, my final thoughts. Bachmann Oliver and Bachmann Toad. Well, to start, for both Oliver and Toad, they have excellent detail. Definitely give that a solid, I'll say 9 out of 10. Because there are a couple things, such as the problem with the sanding valves being too far away from Oliver, and there's a little thing where there's supposed to be like diagonal rods on Toad, but yeah, it's not too big of a deal, but it wouldn't be too hard to put on there. And the silver buffers, as much as they kind of look nice, I don't know, they don't really fit the model personally. But other than that, they're both very nicely detailed models. Running wise, I definitely give both of them a solid 10. They both run very nice. Value, I don't know, $60 for Oliver and $20 for Toad, like $25 for Toad. That's how much they cost me, and it's a little too expensive for me. I'd say maybe like $55 for Oliver and then $15 for Toad. Definitely, because Andy and Clarabelle aren't even that expensive. But, yeah. So, I'd probably give these models an 8.5 out of 10. Nice details, a couple things that are a little distracting though. Fantastic running, but value, I mean, it's a little iffy. So, yeah. So, be expecting some more remakes, and especially some more remakes, including these two engines. And I guess I'll go ahead and tell you what the first remake that's going to include them is going to be. It's going to be Emily's New Coaches from Season 7, because I like Season 7 a lot, so I want to like get a new episode up from Season 7, because I haven't gotten one out since What's the Matter with Henry back in August, and it's almost been a year since I did What's the Matter with Henry, so yeah, it's about time I do another season 7 episode. Yeah, then other than that, I don't know, I'm probably going to be doing Escape and Oliver Owns Up. That depends when I get a new duck because my duck model burnt out. And then I'm also going to be doing Oliver's Find and Toad Stands By, most likely. As for other season 5 episodes, other Oliver episodes, I don't know. And maybe there will be a couple of other episodes where Oliver has somewhat of a role, I don't know. I can't really think off the top of my head, but yeah. So, yeah, this is the LMS Engine signing out, and be ready for another review on the Hornby Rolling Stock.